Hello, guys.
Hello, John.
How you doing, Pam?
Good.
I love your logo. Turn on the Jets. That's great.
I just copied it off of the website and added it. So,
There you go.
yeah, it was cute.
How you doing?
I've been doing good. Yeah,
Oh,
how about you? Been traveling any?
No, no. We voted like to not travel anymore. I think it was right after President's Circle in May.
I know.
Yeah. So we haven't been anywhere.
I know. It was so sad I didn't get to go to Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, well, it's it's the now normal, right? Can't change it, unfortunately.
I know. It's fine. It's we've just had to replace those types of things with other things.
I'm Jerome Kittrell, President of East Mississippi Realtors. I was so looking forward to welcoming you to the 2020 State Convention here in Meridian, with meetings held in this beautiful, historic MSU Riley Center you see behind me. To Meridian, home of Jimmie Rodgers, the father of country music, home of other musicians like Steve Forbert, Mo Bandy, like David Ruffin of The Temptations, and Patrick Sansone of Wilco. Home of actresses Diane Ladd, Emmy Award winner Celia Ward. Home of Hartley Peavy, founder of Peavy Electronics, and home of Mississippi's oldest continuously operating restaurant, Weidmann's, serving great meals since 1870. But then COVID happened. And so now I'm welcoming you here to our virtual state convention, or I should say, welcoming you there, wherever you may be with your phone or iPad or laptop. But wherever you are, I do want to welcome you to the 2020 State Convention. And thank you for participating in this unique and hopefully once in a lifetime experience. And now it's my very great pleasure to introduce to you our convention chairman, Boyd Williams, who's flying in the skies somewhere above Meridian. Thank you.
Key Tower, Navion 969 Tango Romeo with the Mississippi Association of Realtors. We're going to need to abort landing today at Meridian Key Field due to the coronavirus. Requesting to stay airborne at this time to maintain social distancing and keep our community safe and well. For now, we'd like to welcome our 2020 NAR Region 5 Vice President, Pam Powers, who will open our general membership meeting with our invocation, and then the 2012 MAR President, Noggin Weil, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. We hope we'll be back again refueling in Meridian in the near future. 9 Tango Romeo is out.
Thank you, 9 Tango Romeo. And welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining us, John Smaby. We'll be hearing from him. And before I offer up our prayers, I was reminded just then, I flew with my husband to the coast to see my family this weekend, and I was reminded of the resilience of the beautiful people in the state of Mississippi after Katrina, and could see firsthand, like overnight it seemed, because I hadn't seen it in a while, how many beautiful new homes are being built on Highway 90, how many have been built, and it's just, and the downtowns have been revitalized, and the wonderful new aquarium there. So we'll be thinking about that as I offer up our prayers to God. As we bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this fresh new day, and especially for the safety and wellness of those here today. Bless this meeting and share with us a little of your wisdom to do our work today. Please be with us now in our decision making. bless our relationships, and guide our work towards a better world and a peaceful tomorrow. And give us grace to inspire others by our own example and to create environments of greater love. Please wrap your loving arms around all those who suffer in mind, body, and spirit as we navigate this current anxiety of the unknown. We have seen beauty follow disaster, and we give you the glory. You are the builder and creator of all things, and we look to you for the strength and courage to be your hands in creating something new and beautiful out of disaster. Whether it be what we are experiencing now with the pandemic, extreme weather, national unrest, hurtful discrimination, or even economic uncertainty. Through all this, we ask first and foremost that you keep our hearts ever mindful of those less fortunate than ourselves. Please accept our prayers and supplications, and may they be pleasing to you. All this we ask in your name. Amen.
Welcome, everyone. I want to offer one suggestion, or a couple of comments rather, before we do the pledge. It seems especially poignant that doing the pledge at this time, during an election year, during a time when sometimes we see so much in our country that we feel like it needs fixing. Let us not forget that we are all one nation under God, and that we're all Americans, and we're all in this together. And so as we say the pledge, I invite everyone to really think about the words that you're saying, think what they mean, and let's stand as one nation. And I'm going to ask you to do something a little different today. We generally pause after saying one nation, but actually the pledge was written as one nation under God, not one nation under God. So today, let's say it correctly, please. Now, if you'll join me, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Thank you, Noggin. Thank you, Boyd. And thank you for Jerome for that wonderful introduction. Hello, Mississippi Realtors. I'm so glad that you've joined us for our first ever virtual general membership meeting and awards program. I miss being with you all in person this week, but I'm glad to have the chance to meet with you virtually. We're going to do our best to inform you about what's been going on at MAR this crazy year and to honor our 2020 Realtor Community Champions. The theme for this convention, Turn on the Jets, was chosen before coronavirus interrupted all of our plans, but I think it's the perfect theme for our 2020 convention. I believe we're all ready to turn on the jets and accelerate out of this year and into a more hopeful 2021. The continuing education classes that you've enjoyed this week and those that are on schedule for next week will help you to do just that. Before we get to our general membership meeting, I need to take just a few minutes to acknowledge our 2020 convention sponsors. We appreciate them for making this virtual convention happen. And I hope that you'll take some time to thank them for their support of all Mississippi Realtors and throw them some business their way too. which you can download from our website at msrealtors.org/convention. And now I'd like to invite 2005 MAR President and 2021 to 2022 Treasurer of the National Association of Realtors to the podium to introduce our special guest, Nancy Lane.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Keith. It gives me great pleasure today to introduce our keynote speaker, John Smaby. John is NAR's 2020 immediate past president, and he served our industry for more than 40 years. How many of you can say that you started working in real estate at the age of 6? And John did it for the big payment of 10 cents an hour by putting MLS sheets in the books. What we really want to know is what John bought with that 10 cents he made each hour. Clearly, it would be tough to find anyone who had the heart of business and realtors like John. He's mentored many members, and too many to count. And on more than one occasion, I've heard one of our leaders at NAR talk about how John helped them, supported them, and led them through a dark time in their life. John is a great person to model. He served in volunteer leadership from early in his career. He's holding professional standards, education, MLS, and many other committee positions at the Minneapolis board back in the 1980s. And at the Minnesota Association of Realtors, John was RPAC chair from 2013 to 2015, served on the board of directors since 2013, was named Realtor of the Year in 2014, served as treasurer in 2013, and served as president of the Minneapolis Association of Realtors in 2015. And he's been a guiding influence at NAR and in the leadership position for several years now, including having enough energy left after all that to serve as 2019 national president. Perhaps most importantly, John is committed to his community and it runs deep. John has nurtured many through public service by tutoring high school students, leading the Minnesota Youth Forum, and holding a post on the City of Adena Adult Education Board, just to name a few. And I know that he was one of the first on the scene to help with the boarding up when the riots broke out in his area. One more thing I'd like to share with you about John. If you're at a meeting and there's music or a party and you're looking for John, look no further than the dance floor. I wish I had the picture or the video to show you of him and the mariachi band, but I guess that's supposed to be in the vault. Please help me welcome Adena Realtor Broker, second generation NAR member and pontoon boat captain extraordinaire, John Smaby.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you, Nancy, for the kind words. I'm assuming everyone can hear me. It is my pleasure to be with the Mississippi Realtors today. And I love your logo, Turn on the Jets. It's fabulous. I've had the great thrill and opportunity to serve at the National Association of Realtors for the last 4 years on the leadership team. And it was a great thrill this year to welcome Nancy Lane in June. And I think we should all give Nancy a round of applause. And she has been a great, great, great addition to our team, has offered great insight. And I think it's important, having run in a contested election myself, is to also a shout out and a thank you to the Realtors of Mississippi, who did such a great job and ran such a campaign for Nancy. So Nancy, thank you again. Welcome to the team, and you're going to be a fabulous, fabulous treasurer for the National Association of Realtors. Last year, I got to travel 250 some days. The now normal is that we have not traveled since March 1. One of my favorite places on this journey, though, And I did, Nancy said, I do like to dance a little bit. I'm a poor dancer, but I do like Mississippi a couple of years ago. And the Elvis impersonator it was really one of my favorite events. And I thank all of you for the opportunity to get down there. I wish I could be with you this year in Meridian, but my heart is with you. And we're going to take a little time today to talk a little bit about our association. I'll try not to talk too much and take too much of your time, but it's my pleasure to be with you. What a different year we have this year. And in thinking about what's going on, is a couple of thoughts come to mind. And I think it's important for us to know what are our takeaways. Our takeaway number one is not what happened this year, is what we've learned from this year. What we've learned from this year. And a couple of things strike at home with me, is that the word home is more important than it ever has been. We've been home more for the last 6 months with our families. I think we've seen the real estate business change, and for the better. We are doing more sales than we ever have been, ever in our history. I wouldn't have believed that in March. I have to compliment all of you for everything that you've done. We've learned that we can pivot. We can hold virtual conventions on a local, state, and a national level. And that won't change. That won't change. We'll continue to do a lot of things virtually. And I think it will continue to be a great way to reach out to our members throughout the United States. We've learned that fair housing and racial equality are more important than ever, and must be top of mind for every realtor in America. Diversity and inclusion are two words that must live in our hearts every day. That's a little bit of an intro. Now I'd like to just say thank you to a lot of people in this association. President Keith, we've heard you had a great opening. And what I've heard from your members is that you did just a fabulous job. And again, in our now normal, it isn't what we thought it was going to be at the beginning. But I believe the leaders of this association this year will be remembered forever. Thank you, Keith, for your confident leadership. People talk about your calm demeanor, and you have a great way of getting things done. I also want to thank President-elect. Next up is Dorothy Thompson. Immediate past president, Adam Watkins. Your treasurer, David Massey. First Vice President, Chris Davis. Southern District Vice President, John Ritten. Central District Vice President, Gary Parker. Melissa Key, Executive Committee Liaison. Region 5, RVP Pam Powers. I'd like to stop there. Let's give Pam a nice round of applause. Pam, you've been a great leader. I've been on a number of calls with you this year, and you've really taken a charge and have done a fabulous job for your region. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I think we can't forget one of my favorite CEOs, Beth Hansen. Beth, you are so well organized. I talk to other state EOs, and from a small state, is that you stand up and you do a great, great, great job for the realtors in the great state of Mississippi. So what's happening in this year? Well, I think a couple of things that also strike my mind as to where we are. NAR has done some interesting surveys, so we had more time to really kind of take a deeper look at where we are today. One of them that stuck out to me is that in one of the surveys, is that we very rarely get this, is that they're saying, our people said that it is much, much more important in this year to have the services of a realtor. One of the things that I'm most proud of, and we were worried about, I think at all levels when this started, is that can we do the right thing when it comes to COVID protocol? And I will say throughout the country, I have not heard one instance of realtors not doing the right thing when it comes to that. Thank you. I'm very proud of that. We are seeing throughout our country unbelievable real estate numbers. Our sales are up about 10.5% from a year ago. In Mississippi, your median sale price is up 12% over a year ago. It is happening everywhere in this country. Its sales are just crazy in my hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. I thank you. And we are very fortunate. And it just says what a great job we're doing. I'm not going to talk a lot about what's going on in Washington, D.C., but I'm going to highlight a few things quickly. One of the things that I think we, for the first time ever, the realtors were part of the stimulus plan. And we worked very, very hard. I was on some calls early on, and we were not going to be included in that. So I really applaud our team for doing that. This week, we funded for a full year this time the flood insurance deal. And it's old news, I know, but still, it's very important. One thing that was an add-on, and what I worry most about today is our commercial members. Our business in the residential side has been great, but they have been suffering. Anything we can do to help our commercial members. But there was one little way in this bill that was a full year extension of a surface transportation funding, which I got a call from a commercial member of mine, and he said, thank you very much, just in the last week. A couple of other things that we're looking forward to, and we're hoping that we can get funding for rental and employment assistance. This is a big deal. We met with the members of the White House staff a week ago, and we talked about, additional rental assistance in the stimulus bill. Now, who knows? It's kind of crazy in Washington, D.C. I think you'd all agree right now whether that happens. But we believe that that's a very, very important priority as we go forward. I think a big changer, a game changer for us, is something we've been working for, but we had more progress this year than in other years, is with an online notarization bill. I think this year we've all done remote closings. We should, and we must get this passed. My clients have enjoyed this, and they've been able to manage their time better. And so we're hoping that every state in America soon will have an online notary bill. We're looking for limited liability protections for businesses that open. This is a big deal that was brought up to me in the last few weeks. I think our biggest priority this year, and it's really brought to light in this year, is fair housing. Earlier this year, the leadership team adopted a plan called ACT, which stands for Accountability, Culture Change, and Training. Here are a few things that are going on with that plan. We're looking for helping states with the fair housing enforcement and educational recommendations. We're developing a discrimination self-testing program for brokerages that want to access, whether their employees are providing equal service of clients of different backgrounds. We're creating a fair housing training platform with interactive scenarios that allow users to be in the shoes of both clients and agents. Last year, we created a Fair Housing Policy Committee. It's amazing to me that we didn't have one before. We're doing a pivot with our Strategic Thinking Committee, and we must be a leader in addressing racial inequality. Here's a few ways you can join us. If you haven't yet, take a chance, take the time to see NER's new video on implicit bias. It's fabulous. You can also obtain the At Home with Diversity certification. I did it earlier this year. It's fabulous. It's been changed a little bit, and I think updated, and it's a very, very worthy program. In most states, you can get a little continuing education too. It's a great program. You can get more information, as always, on any of our new programs at ner.realtor. We must continue to listen and most importantly, learn about equality issues. And we must take informed action together. Well, here's another thing. If anybody in Minnesota, we're a swing state. We don't have TV anymore. We just have advertisements, political advertisements. 15 minutes, it seems like, every hour they watch TV. I've almost had to turn it off. But we have to remember is that voting today is probably more important than ever. You can get all that information on our website. We have a great toolkit that talks about vote, act, and invest. One other thing that NER has done that I'm really proud of, we have a program called Right Tools Right Now. And agents around the country have taken advantage of this and received over $21 million worth of business tools, either free or at reduced rates. One of these is the members telehealth plan, which has been a great plan. I've had a number of members in Minnesota that have used that. I'd like to close, and I'm open for questions if you have time. Again, for a huge thank you. The real estate business is so important for our communities all across America. There is no other business in the world that gives back more than you do. I hope that we continue to make a difference. I hope that we do everything we can and we lead the way when it comes to fair housing and racial equality. My friends in the great state of Mississippi, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for doing everything you do in your hometowns and your great state to help make our business great. Thank you very much.
John, as a resident of Tupelo, I want to thank you for mentioning that, and you're welcome to come back and party with us at the Elvis birthplace anytime you wish.
I will, anytime. I'll be there.
Great, great. Thank you. Again, we appreciate you participating in our first ever virtual convention, and we truly appreciate your leadership and support of Mississippi.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Traditionally, the MAR president takes a few minutes during the general membership meeting to update you on what's been going on with your association for the past year. It's been almost a year since the gavel fell in San Francisco. Seems like a lifetime ago at the NAR Board of Directors meeting, and the gavel officially passed to me. That was last November, and we really did get off to a good start. My theme for the year has been Community Champions 2020, and we've spent this time during this year highlighting the work of realtors and the work that they do all over the state to serve others and advance private property rights. I had a lot planned for 2020. Just a few weeks after the San Francisco convention, your 2020 executive committee and all of our committee chairs and vice chairs got together in Greenwood for our leadership retreat. The executive committee met for its first official meeting, and we spent time at Inverness Elementary School reading to kids in the kindergarten and first grade classes and also helping them with a STEM activity. The entire leadership team had a chance to hear from State Auditor Shad White and former Congressman Greg Harper, who both spoke to us about the importance of realtor advocacy and community involvement. We also had time to discuss our strategic plan, and each committee got some time to set goals for things they hope to accomplish this coming year of 2020. During the first week of December, I traveled to Austin, Texas with a number of Mississippi realtors who worked on the national level this year on advocacy issues. We had the opportunity to hear from several political pundits and advocacy speakers and hear about the resources NAR has available to assist us with issues in our own state. We also had some time to get together to share ideas with other state associations, plan how we would use NAR resources in Mississippi, and set some realtor party goals for MAR for the coming year. There was a lot of content packed into a quick 2-day trip to Austin, Texas. In January, we hosted a very successful Global Business Council in Jackson with instructor Lisa Calarco from NAR. Lisa talked to the group about global business councils, how they help realtors to learn how to serve international clients more successfully, and how to attract more international business to Mississippi. On March 3rd, the MAR building was packed with nearly 200 realtors who participated in another NAR program, the Tech Edge class. Instructors from Pennsylvania, Texas, North Carolina, and several of our own Mississippi realtors shared information about the latest real estate technology. NAR staff told us it was their most successful Tech Edge program ever. And I'm proud to say our very own YPN committee was the lead sponsor for that program. That same week, we brought together a big crowd of our members for our winter meeting in Jackson. We had a day of committee meetings, followed by our annual drawdown to benefit MARPAC. Our MARPAC fundraising event included some fun with line dancing instructions this year. The night was a huge success, both in dollars raised for MARPAC and also really big fun. The next day, on March 5th, a record-setting 400-plus Mississippi realtors converged on the State Capitol building for our annual Realtor Day at the Capitol. We heard from Lieutenant Governor, State Auditor, and the Secretary of State, as well as several key legislators. Many of you were able to visit with your senators and representatives and deliver information about our legislative priorities. Senator Sally Doty and Representative Donnie Bell were honored as our 2019 Legislators of the Year. Both were instrumental to our legislative success in 2019, and by the way, they were Realtor champions during the 2020 session too. We also hosted our annual legislative luncheon, and I had the privilege to present our second annual Legislative Bowl trophies, or Leg Bowl, to the 2 local boards with the highest percentage of the members in attendance. In the smaller board category, the winner was the Natchez Board of Realtors. Sue Stedman accepted the trophy on behalf of the Natchez Board. In the larger board category, the winner was the Hattiesburg Area Association of Realtors. President Natalie Wiggins accepted the trophy for the Hattiesburg Board. There are 21 boards in our state, and before the arrival of COVID, I was able to visit in person with 17 of those local boards. I attended many membership meetings, installed new officers, and enjoyed getting to meet so many outstanding Mississippi realtors. I had the chance to recognize our Realtor community champions during many of those local board visits, and I was inspired by many examples of dedicated service. As I've been saying all year, Mississippi Realtors play a key role in the life of their own towns and cities, and I'm proud of all we do to move Mississippi forward. And then coronavirus hit. And we had to shift immediately as our state's economy shut down in many sectors. Here is just a partial list of things that MAR did to help keep the real estate industry rolling. Our first task was to make sure we could still operate, and we worked closely with the governor's office to make sure real estate was included on the list of essential services. I appointed a group of Mississippi Realtors from all different disciplines to serve on a Restart Mississippi task force. 4 of our task force members were invited to serve on the Small Business Subcommittee of Governor Tate Reeves' Restart Mississippi Commission. Our Standard Forms Advisory Committee worked quickly with Ron Ferris to draft forms and addenda to help us handle new liability issues. We asked the Real Estate Commission to consider extending the deadlines for licensing and education requirements, and Mr. Prater and his staff were very helpful in addressing the licensees' needs. The MAR staff put together a resource page on our website where you can go to access the latest information about federal assistance programs like pandemic unemployment assistance and paycheck protection. I shot several videos to try to keep us all informed and encouraged as we dealt with new realities of sheltering in place, hand washing, quarantine, and best practices in this new challenge. It's been an extraordinary year, and we've been struggling to deal with all of the changes we've seen. But I've been very proud of what we've accomplished and how all of you have responded. Your efforts to keep our industry working have been a huge boost to our state's economy and recovery. One thing that we have not been able to do is travel. We have a number of Mississippi Realtors who participate on the national level, and the pictures on the screen have been a familiar sight as NAR hosted their May legislative meetings virtually. We attended our committee meetings and even the board of directors meeting virtually. One of our own, Pam Powers, she served as this year's Region 5 Vice President, and we congratulate her for a job very well done. In hosting the Region 5 caucus virtually, and also putting together an entirely virtual Region 5 summit in July, she's working now to prepare for another virtual Region 5 summit to be held in conjunction with NAR's annual conference. Pam, you have represented us with excellence this year, and we're grateful for your service. You are a champion. One really big thing that was accomplished this year was Nancy Lane's campaign for NAR Treasurer. The campaign started last August, and Nancy crisscrossed the country through the month of February when the campaign had to shift to a virtual mode before the pandemic. Nancy had 23 trips and visited 26 different states from Florida to Alaska and California to Connecticut. MAR committed significant resources to the campaign, and we are proud to have her serving on the national level as treasurer for 2021 and 2022. Nancy is our first Mississippi Realtor to serve as a national officer for the National Association of Realtors. Nancy, you are a champion. And then it was time for the June meetings, our first experience conducting virtual meetings. Our committees met online, and then we followed that with a hybrid board of directors meeting. We had about 30 present in the building, everyone at their own table for social distancing purposes, and a few more than that watching and voting from home on Zoom. I had an opportunity to tell a few jokes and got a few laughs. Since we weren't able to get together in person, we put together some outstanding speakers and launched a summer speakers series in July. First up was, I'm going to say world-renowned NAR chief economist, Dr. Lawrence Yun. Anyone who's heard him speak always enjoyed his presentations. Then we enjoyed 3 sessions with the popular and charismatic instructor, Lee Brown from North Carolina. We wrapped the speaker series up with New Jersey instructor, Daryl Davis. The presenters packed a lot into 1 hour. If you missed these sessions, you can still find recordings of them on msrealtors.org. To give you a quick update on our Mississippi Realtor Institute, MRI started the year strong with big numbers in attendance in our pre-license and broker classes. And then the pandemic hit. Remarkably, it only took about 2 weeks for MRI director, Andrea Dietrich, and our outstanding cadre of instructors to shift gears and begin teaching classes online. Our students and instructors have adjusted very well to this new format, and our numbers are really strong, particularly in the pre-license course. We're also having a great year in our regular online courses too. Our thanks to our MRI staff and instructors for making sure MRI continues to be a strong member benefit for Mississippi Realtors. And 2020, we had another outstanding job by Janice Shows, who once again chaired the Mississippi Realtors Disaster Relief Board, along with Ken Austin, Tony Jones, Ellen Short, Dorothy Thompson, and myself. Unfortunately, we've had a very busy year. First of all, we received over $24,000 in income for the fund from sales from the Realtor car tags. That's pretty amazing. We've also received generous donations from 3 of our local boards, the Greater Golden Triangle Association, the Northwest Mississippi Realtors, and the Pearl River County Realtors. Thank you. This year, we've given away $28,700 to 36 different individuals and families who have suffered through floods and wind damage, and then a series of devastating tornadoes in April. I'm so glad that we're able to serve our fellow Mississippians in this way. Speaking of serving our fellow citizens, we were able to work closely with the Mississippi legislators this year on several pieces of legislation. Our broker responsibility bill was passed and is now law, as well as statute of repose for real estate licensees that extends our liability protection. Coronavirus brought 2 more bills onto our legislative agenda, and we lobbied for passage of laws which revised the laws of notary publics and also Back to Business Liability Assurance Act. We were also able to defeat a bill that would have negatively impacted Mississippi's property tax structure, and another that would change some of the disciplinary procedures at MREC. I'm very proud that the Mississippi Realtors played a role in the passage of legislation to retire the state flag and provide us an opportunity to vote in just a few weeks on a new flag design, the In God We Trust flag. Public sentiment for a change to our state flag has been growing in recent years, but the legislative session began with no clear path toward change. However, momentum seemed to be building when legislators returned to the Capitol this summer, and I appointed a task force to look at the issue. The task force recommended that we do a survey to see where our members stood. The survey drew a record response from over 1,600 of our members in just a little over 24 hours. And almost 2/3 of our members expressed a desire for the association to take a position to ask the legislature to vote for change. The Mississippi Realtors joined a number of other trade associations, educational and religious institutions, and individuals to issue a statement in support of change. Individual realtors also contacted legislators to encourage them to vote for change. And our work on this issue was an important part of the ultimate passage of legislation for retirement of the flag. I'm also proud of the work that we did together to encourage this important change for the future of our state. I've been focused on community champions this year, and I've seen Mississippi Realtors serving others and also advocating for issues important to our industry. This year, a record crowd of over 400 attended Realtor Day at the Capitol. And your response to our annual legislative priority survey was strong too, with over 1,100 responses. In the Marpac Arena, you've contributed over $297,000 to Marpac this year as of September 24th. Our fair share participation rate is at 66.4%. That's close to our highest rate ever, and participation like that is the envy of almost every other state in the country. We have 137 realtors who are major investors to Marpac this year. And not only are individual realtors investing in a big way, but 9 of our local boards or MLSs are major investors as well. Those are very impressive numbers. Mississippi Realtors are leading the nation in their commitment to professional development. Last year, the National Association of Realtors introduced C2EX. The program had a fast start, but no other state in the country has done a better job of earning the C2EX endorsement than Mississippi. The names of our members who have received the C2EX endorsement as of September 10th are displayed on the screen in 4 different slides. As of September 10th, 515 Mississippi Realtors are C2EX endorsed, and another 354 are working toward the endorsement. Florida has more C2EX endorsed realtors than we do. Oregon has more too. But no other state is ahead of Mississippi in the number of C2EX endorsed realtors per capita. That's something we can be really proud of. Working through 11 competencies indicates a realtor's commitment to ethics, advocacy, technology, data privacy, outstanding customer service, and much more. If you haven't started the process yet, log in to c2ex.realtor and give it a try. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank an incredible group of committee chairs and vice chairs this year. These leaders have done a phenomenal job guiding their committees, and I appreciate their dedication, especially this year when everything has been so unpredictable. These committee chairs and co-chairs are on the screen. And of course, I cannot talk about this year without mentioning that I have been blessed with an extraordinary group with my executive committee. Dorothy, Chris, David, Melissa, Gary, and Adam. Thank you for leading alongside me this year. And John. Adam's got your back, John. Your steadfast support, vision, and dedication has shown and proven to be an invaluable asset to our association. From a personal perspective, to me, y'all epitomize the quote, "Friends are like your backbone. They're always with you when you need support." I appreciate you. That concludes my State of the Association report. And with that, I now adjourn our general meeting so we can begin our annual awards program. That's my gavel. And now the fun part of the program. No drum roll. Okay, we're going to just jump right in. All right, the first award is the President's Award. The first award for today is the President's Award. One thing that I learned this year is that it's impossible to serve as president without the support and encouragement of a whole lot of people. I've leaned on a lot of people this year for advice, for inspiration, for good times, and for laughter too. We've needed a lot of that this year, and we've had a good bit. There have been many people that probably deserve this award in 2020, but there's one person who stands out. This person has provided support, shown concern, been compassionate, straightforward, humorous, and understanding. We've talked, texted, emailed, Zoomed almost daily for the past year. I could not have survived 2020 without her stalwart support. The President's Award this year goes to my friend and right-hand woman, the beautiful, smart, funny, ever-smiling Dorothy Thompson. Hurry up, Dorothy, we're virtual. You can. My sincere thanks to Dorothy. Thank you for being right beside me this year. Our next award honors our MAR Affiliate of the Year, a member who has made extraordinary contributions in several local board of realtors and with MAR too. This year, we're honoring someone whose local board describes as enthusiastic and supportive. With a professional demeanor and a delightful attitude, she volunteers to sponsor association events often and participates in community outreach initiatives every year. I was able to surprise our MAR Affiliate of the Year with this award a few days ago. Let's go to the video to find out who is being honored today as MAR's 2020 Affiliate of the Year.
Help me with this.
Okay. Well, those are pretty.
Hold that sign up.
Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm surprised. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aw,
Let's see. What we get?
is it, are we good?
Congratulations, Mary Allen Bennett. She's a fantastic supporter of, as we said, many boards and of the Realtor Association. She's with First American Home Warranty. Thank you, Mary Allen, for all you do to support Mississippi homeowners and realtors. It's time to celebrate one of our association's most successful programs, Leadership MAR. Since 1997, 210 Mississippi realtors have participated in LMAR. 23 others have taken their leadership training to a higher level as part of the 2008 and 2019 LMAR Honors Program. And in 2016, we had 14 lucky participants in the Presidents in Partnership Mentoring Program. Today, we officially add 14 new LMAR alumni to our distinguished list. This group of 7 women and 7 men have weathered the storm of 2020 with a lot of grace and class. Coronavirus forced them to change the date of one retreat, take a second retreat virtual, amend their class project, and they have been adaptable and agreeable all year. There's a lot of leadership potential for MAR and local boards in this group. The class included Michael Anderson, Angela Clark, Carrie Cole, Chris Davis, Krista Golightly, Shelley Janis, David Massey, Michael Mitchell, John Polis, Paula Richards, Craig Scherer, Tammy Strickland, Blake Thompson, and Walter Wright. Congratulations, MAR Class of 2020. The executive committee got to spend a little time with this group on Monday night when we met for a social distance dinner in Jackson. At that dinner, we awarded them with their pins and awards. I'm glad that I had the chance to thank them in person for their perseverance and their leadership this year. The class worked on a project to recognize a community champion in their local board, and they've elected John Polish to represent them and tell you a little bit about the project and their experience with LMAR. John is with us, and I'll turn the podium over to him now.
Thank you, Keith. Appreciate that. We're going to talk about the class project, and then I want to talk a little bit about our class. The class project was centered on President Keith Henley's theme of community champions. Class members were to identify a realtor in their local board who is an example of a community leader. We shared information about our honorees with the class and also submitted a paragraph of information about them and their work to MAR and the community. The realtors chosen by each class member are listed on the screen now. In red are our LMAR classmates, and below them are their community champions. The realtor community champions that we identified will be the focus of social media posts and an article in the Real Estate Leader to come. We hope to go out with our community champions to serve alongside them in their project and to video them in action, but coronavirus prevented us from doing that. It's still encouraging to hear about realtor community champions and celebrate the work they are doing in their Mississippi towns. Some of those that will be spotlighted in the coming weeks are shown above or on the slide or on the Zoom call. Now, let's talk about our class. Our class that was formed of 14 professionals from North Mississippi to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We consisted of residential, recreational, commercial agent brokers. That's them. 7 women and 7 men. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go on all the retreats like previous classes have done, but we made the most of it when we did. It goes like the saying, quality, not quantity. We certainly had good quality times, whereas if it was social distancing on Zoom calls or 6 feet apart in person, the time was well spent and enjoyed by all. Beth did an awesome job with keeping the ship heading in the right direction. Even though she had a ton of obstacles in the way, she kept the mission going, and we just rolled with it and did what we had to do. LMAR was a wonderful time. The experiences, friendships, laughs will always be memorable, even if a virus tried to shut us down. As we left our last class this week, my phone started buzzing with messages from our GroupMe app that our class had formed on the first night we met. Now, this group messaging platform has been used throughout the year, whether it was a serious question, finding somebody that's been lost or late, I'm not naming names, or just simply checking in to see how each and every one was doing. In this case, it was everyone telling each other how much this program meant to them, how much we learned, and the friendships we formed. I want to read a couple of these texts on the GroupMe app. I won't name the names who wrote them, and how much, so you can understand that how much the program meant to some of my fellow classmates. One of the classmates said when we left yesterday, I was told by many past LMAR graduates that LMAR would change my life. I was skeptical. I can honestly say the class exceeded my expectations. Not only did I make lifelong friends, I learned a lot. I hate to see the class end, but look forward to what else the future holds for everyone in the class. I look forward to working with each of you in the years to come. Another one, so thankful to have met each of you. This experience will always hold a special place in my heart. We will stay in touch forever, is what she said. And when it's Realtors at the Capitol Day, we'll get together. We are an amazing group, and each of us offer resources, relationships that will last forever. We'll read one more. Really enjoyed the time spent with everyone this year. I hope everyone's business is blessed beyond measure. But more importantly, that you're using your influence to make lives of your clients and neighbors a little better each day. In closing, realtors should get involved in their local boards, communities, and state organizations. Not only should we do this to stay informed, but we should do this to become better realtors. LMAR gives you another level of professionalism, which is so very important in our industry today. And I'm going to leave you with a quote that our classmates would understand. Herb Brooks, who coached the Olympic hockey team, the one that beat the Russians. And it was kind of during a time like we're going through now. But he said this, quote, "When you pull on that jersey, the name on the front, is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. So when you put on that realtor badge, that's your jersey." Thank y'all. I didn't mean to cut.
Thank you, John. That's all. The most important goal of MRI is to deliver the very best real estate education in the state. And one of the critical elements in doing that is to have an instructor cadre that delivers quality material to our students and instructors that really care about the future success of their students. The recipient of our Mississippi Realtor Institute Instructor of the Year Award is chosen by the students. The instructor who receives the highest student score on an annual basis receives the coveted Instructor of the Year Award. Our winner this year is regularly praised by her students on the evaluations. Let's see what her students had to say. She was an excellent instructor, and I'm looking forward to taking more classes from her. I always enjoy her as an instructor and found that she was able to use her energy to make the virtual classroom just as good as in person. She did a fabulous job. She's a wonderful teacher. As you can see from the quotes on the screen, this instructor's students rave about her capabilities and her talent for making this year's virtual experience just as enjoyable as being in the classroom. And that's a real gift. I had to get a little help to present this award, so I called on one of her neighbors to let her know that she had been chosen as MRI 2020 Instructor of the Year. We have a video.
I'm here today on behalf of the Mississippi Association of Realtors to congratulate you, Stephanie Shaw, as the Mississippi Realtor Institute Instructor of the Year.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Job well done and well deserved.
Thank you. This is exciting. So this pulls at my heartstrings because it does. I'm so passionate about teaching and just the fact that helping people learn how to think and not just definitions and scenarios. It's so important in our business to be able to help people think through situations. And for our clients and customers, we have to really keep at the bottom of every thought process that home ownership is a dream that starts in the heart. And yes, we know all the technicalities, but for them, it's actually something that starts in the heart. So keep that in mind. That's what I kind of weave throughout all of my classes. And thank y'all so much for voting me for Instructor of the Year. Thanks.
Congratulations to Stephanie Shaw. And thank you for lending your talent to the Mississippi Realtor Institute. Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause. By the way, you can watch Stephanie in action along with another veteran MRI instructor, Dee Denton, next Thursday as they present Buyer's Agency on the Front Lines and Seller's Agency on the Front Lines. If you're not registered already, visit msrealtors.org to sign up. The Mississippi Realtor Political Action Committee is one of the largest political action committees in the state of Mississippi. and Mississippi Realtors have a strong tradition of contributing their fair share every year. Our number of major investors per capita is among the highest in the nation as well. That kind of success doesn't happen without the support of realtors at the local board level who talk about the importance of political advocacy with their peers and encourage participation in MARPAC. As we celebrate our MARPAC successes, I'd first like to recognize the local boards who have met or exceeded their fundraising and/or participation goals for 2020. I should note that these accomplishments are as of September 24th, and some of these boards will reach additional goals before the December 1st cutoff date. At our 2009 MAR convention, the first group of MARPAC donors eligible to be inducted into the MARPAC Hall of Fame were announced. Mississippi Realtors who belong to the MARPAC Hall of Fame have given at least $10,000 to RPAC cumulatively over their lifetime. To date, we have 56 members who have been inducted into the MARPAC Hall of Fame. Their names are listed on the screen. We honor them for their significant investment in the political action of our organization and to the investment in our profession. This year, I'm pleased to announce that we have 6 more new members who have met the eligibility requirements to be installed into our MARPAC Hall of Fame. Our 6 new inductees are Janice Guckert of Madison, Carla Palmer Allen of Ridgeland, Gary Parker of Flowood, Barbara Richardson of Jackson, Rosemary Stovall of Madison, and Walker Tan of Jackson. Congratulations and thank you for your commitment to MARPAC and MAR. Remember, it's never too early to begin to work on your MARPAC Hall of Fame award or contribute your fair share. It's an honor to present the Mississippi Realtor Community Champion Awards. This award recognizes realtors who volunteer his or her personal time and resources and demonstrate extraordinary efforts to improve the quality of life in his or her community. In addition to the individual recognition, a charity affiliated with our Community Champion winners will receive a $1,000 donation from the Mississippi Realtors. Up to 2 Community Champion Awards may be given each year. This year, we have 2 Community Champion Award winners. Our first Community Champion has been investing his time and resources in his community for decades. Over 30 years ago, this gentleman co-founded an organization in his town which began by awarding Excellence in Teaching and Excellence in Education awards each year. He personally contributed seed money for these awards and served as the organization's first president. His continual involvement over the years have grown their assets to more than $7.5 million. And annual grants to community organizations regularly total over $1 million. This Realtor Community Champion has served in numerous other charitable organizations in his city and has been vitally involved in the development of the downtown area. Over and over again, he has demonstrated his care and commitment for his community. For his timeless work on behalf of his fellow citizens, I am pleased to honor this outstanding community champion. I had the chance to meet up with him a couple of days ago and honor him for his dedication. Let's see who it is. I've got a sign here. Shown as the 2016 Community Champion Award on this date, I would like to present you as a community champion for 2020.
Yay! Applause, everybody. Woo-woo!
Oh my gosh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Isn't this great? So Keith, 4 years ago today,
4 years ago today, I was awarded the Community Champion Award.
and today,
I'm very proud to present it to Jerome on
Thank
this
you.
day 4 years later.
Thank you, Keith.
Congratulations.
Thank you for being here.
Sure. Congratulations, Jerome. Very well deserved. Jerome Kittrell of the East Mississippi Realtors. His work with many charitable organizations in Meridian, especially the Community Foundation of East Mississippi. Thank you again. The stories of a community champion always inspire me every year, but this story is particularly heartwarming. Mississippi Realtor has always had a heart to serve and has spent time for years to take care of the needs of the homeless, and she has had an opportunity, as she has had the opportunity. Several years ago, she struck up a friendship with a gentleman she saw pushing a wheelchair down the road in the freezing cold. She bought him food and gave him some encouragement. But that was not the end of the story. A year later, she saw this man again, bought him some lunch, and continued their conversation. She asked him one day how long it had been since he had taken a shower. He said a year. An idea was born. And soon this realtor had purchased an old food truck, found a contractor to build 2 showers in it, and launched the Shower Power Mobile Shower Unit. Now, you can often find her at various locations in her town, handing out towels and hygiene items and offering a shower and a kind word to a homeless person. And her concern doesn't stop there. As she discovers others' needs among the homeless population, she does what she can to help. Our second community champion is truly a servant to a group of people often shunned by society. I'm glad I had the chance to meet her and honor this true community champion. Well, I don't know how much Beth told you, but that's community champion is my theme this year. And basically we want to focus on, being a champion in our community, helping our communities, because the better our communities are, then the better our business is, and the better we are as a whole. So we're really excited about that. And we have a little award that we hand out each year. It's our Community Champion Award, and I won it several years ago, so it's near and dear to my heart. But we would like to recognize you as our state community champion for 2020.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I had no idea.
And it comes with a $1,000 gift that goes toward your program.
Oh my gosh.
So,
I had no idea. Thank you so
well,
much.
you're very welcome. Didn't you want to know how her hair looked on the video? Because she was caught completely off surprise. Very, very sweet. Congratulations, Teresa Reckenberger of the Central Mississippi Realtors.